Hi, I'm Maddie, and this is my beekeeping suit. I love filming the bees, but this suit makes filming impossible. Firstly, you need 2 hands for beekeeping, and a camera in one hand and a frame of bees in the other. Trust me, not ideal. Oh, crumbs. This hood, it always slips off my head and the mesh gets stuck to my nose so the bees can sting me. Not my nose. The microphone often gets muffled in this giant glowing white marshmallow suit. How does that sound? And when the sun's out, you can barely see my eyes through this mesh. Can you even see me? What am I gonna do? Wait a minute. Much better. But you're probably wondering, how did I go from marshmallow to Marvel? Let's rewind to where our mission began. Welcome to FBFX, the name behind some of the coolest costumes and props in film. If you've seen movies like Aquaman, The Martian, the Star Wars films, then you've already seen the work of these behind-the-scenes superheroes. It's squishy. And guess what? They asked me if I wanted to make my very own beekeeping superhero helmet. Obviously, I said yes. But how do you even start to build a superhero helmet? Before the team could build anything, they needed something important from me, a full body scan, so they could make a full-size Maddie mannequin to work from. A Maddiekin, if you will.
No way!
This is the 3D scanning rig. It uses 238 high-resolution cameras to capture every angle of me at the same time. The goal is to create an exact 3D model of my body, so the helmet can be designed to fit my head just right. What's pretty cool is that unless you have exactly the same size head as me, this helmet probably wouldn't fit you, so it's kind of one of a kind. But to get an accurate scan of my head, I had to wear this rather fashionable head sock. It looks so ridiculous.
It's quite hilarious to me that every Hollywood superstar who comes in here and ultimately leaves looking really cool at some point looks like this. Yeah. So I want you all to remember that. Every time you see a superhero on any kind of film, once upon a time they had to do this, okay? Just so you know.
Once I was inside the rig, I had to stand completely still.
Bye.
Which is quite hard for me because I fidget a lot.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa! Wow, that's a lot of cameras. That is madness.
The scan was complete. Now it was time to start designing. Oh my God, can you hear that thunder? But what does a beekeeper's helmet look like, especially when it's being built by a superhero costume team? The sky is the limit. So I sat down with Ed, one of FBFX's artists, to look through his early ideas.
Okay, can we see some of them?
Yes, so we've got...
Every single one was impressive and somewhat inspired by an actual honeybee's head. They were so cool. Some of them looked sort of sleek and pointy, others leaned full space bee sci-fi vibes.
This looks like this is what beekeeping would look like in space.
But I thought that we could meet somewhere in the middle. The helmet had to look cool, sure, but it also needed to work. It has to be practical for both beekeeping and filming. At first, I held back my ideas because I didn't want to overstep or be a little bit too ambitious, but I didn't have to worry because the team at FBFX, they went all out. We talked about all sorts, from how to keep the mesh away from my face, whether we could add a camera in place of the bee's eyes for hands-free filming.
We can put a mount on it which can house a GoPro that somehow looks cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
And even if we would somehow be able to add lights to the helmet so that you could see my face better on the camera.
The only thing I could think about to make it more classically honeybee would be to make the whole thing hairy, but we're not going to do that because it would suck.
And after a few meetings and many different versions, drum roll please, Here is the beautiful final design. This is a 3D model of the helmet that Ed built on his computer. It's a kind of digital sculpture of the helmet designed to perfectly fit my head thanks to those clever body scans. Every curve, lens and antenna had to be placed in the digital world before anything real could be made. I think you'll agree it's a helmet that's practical, protective and fit for a superhero. Talking of which, actually, what do you think my beekeeping superhero name should be? Let us know in the comments because I need some ideas. Now, where were we? FBFX were working on huge films, the kinds with spaceships, explosions and sort of major A-list celebrities, so the beekeeping helmet was more of a side quest, which meant I was happy to wait and wait and wait until my superhero beekeeping helmet was ready. So without further ado, it was back to FBFX. Before I got to see the final result, I did get to see how some parts of it were made and have a go myself. Oh my gosh, it is actually going to chuck it down. It all starts with a 3D file. In this case, it's the digital 3D model of the helmet we saw on Ed's computer earlier. The file gets digitally sliced into hundreds of ultra-thin layers and sent to a 3D printer. This is the 3D printing lab. Now, 3 different types of 3D printing have been used to make the final helmet, but today we're going to see an example of resin printing, which was used to make some of the smaller, more delicate pieces of the helmet. This resin printer is currently printing the jaw part of the helmet. Now, at the base here, we have a tray that's full of a runny liquid resin. It's a little bit like plastic. And at the top is the build plate that's raising up and down, up and down. The resin printer works by dipping the build plate into the liquid resin. Then a UV light flashes from a screen underneath, hardening one layer of the shape at a time. The build plate lifts, then lowers, and another layer is set. This happens over and over again until the full piece appears out of the resin like magic. But this piece isn't quite ready yet.
Nice.
Perfect. So what do we do now? Once the printing is done, the supports, that's the extra pieces that hold the shape steady while printing, are carefully removed. Ah, yes. That is so...
It is satisfying.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Amazing. Then the part is washed in an alcohol bath to clean off the leftover resin, and then everything is set under a UV light to fully harden it. The result? A super detailed, very lightweight part that's ready for sanding, painting and assembly. Some parts of the helmet are made using materials that can't be 3D printed. Instead, these parts are moulded using a process called silicon moulding that happens in here, inside the moulding room. Come on in. Silicon moulding can take over 24 hours, so the team started moulding yesterday. A couple of the silicon moulded parts are the flexible, squishy antennae and the clear side lenses with their hexagon pattern. The antenna had to be silicon moulded in order to fit all the wires needed for the lights and dimmer switches. That's right, the antenna have lights in them. I didn't think we were going to get it, but we did. And they're on dimmer switches, so you can turn the light up and down. They outdid themselves. They really outdid themselves there. And the lenses had to be moulded in this way because they required a special clear material that would allow me to see and get more light into the helmet when I'm beekeeping. That thunder, it is going to absolutely chuck it down, mate. The process starts with a 3D printed piece of the thing we want to mould. So for us, that's the lens. Now that 3D printed piece is mounted inside a clear box. So it's got lots of space around it. And then liquid silicone is poured to completely cover the whole thing and fill up the box. That silicone will take about 24 hours to set till it becomes hard, a little bit like solid jelly. Once the silicone has set, the silicone block is taken out of the box and sliced in half so that we can take the 3D printed lens out, leaving us with a mould. That mould is then put back together and inside a material called polyurethane, which is our clear plastic, will be poured. At this stage, it's in a liquid form. Then the whole thing goes inside one of these. It's
called a pressure pot, and it helps to suck out any air so that our final piece won't have any air bubbles. That liquid polyurethane eventually will go hard. That takes about an hour, and then it's ready to be removed from the mold.
Okay, we are gonna have to go inside and do the rest of it inside because an actual storm has started. Quick, 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 get out the rain, get out the rain, get out the rain. Wait, I know. This'll keep me dry.
Yeah, made it home. Where were we? I think we were talking about the lenses. So yeah, the lenses, they weren't quite ready yet. They still had to be prepped. And thankfully, the lovely Ellie was ready to help. First, Ellie showed me how to carefully sand the edges with something that looked a bit like a nail file.
Oh, it's a little bit like Warhammer. I'm having a lovely time.
I genuinely mean that. It was so therapeutic. I can absolutely see why Ellie and everyone at FBFX actually loves their job so much. Then the lenses went through multiple rounds of sanding. This looked a bit like squeezing a gritty liquid over the lens and then buffing it out with this cloth that span really, really fast. This happens 3 times with a gritty liquid, medium, and then fine. Eventually, they shined like glass.
I didn't know polishing was gonna be this complicated. I honestly thought we were just gonna give it a bit of a shine. This is great.
Remember this, it's the 3D printed jaw piece from earlier. Now it's been cleaned up and finished, it's been stuck on a stick. And that's because we're about to paint it. To do that, we're going into the spray booth and we're using the same type of paint that's actually used on cars. Before I arrived, the team had already given the piece a grey primer to prep it for colour paint. So all I had to do was add that rich honeybee yellow. There's no undo button here, so I had to keep the spray even, distance steady, my nerves in check, back and forth, smooth and slow, no streaks, no drips. For a first try, I think that was pretty good. We've come to soft costume. This is where everything related to fabric happens. The reason being, we're going to do a fitting to make sure that the prototype helmet and my beekeeping jacket fit together well. We don't want any space for the bees to get up into the helmet or down into my clothes. Oh my gosh. I think it looks great. What I like is that it still says beekeeper because it is a beekeeping jacket, but it's got superhero vibes at the same time. It feels safe, the bees aren't going to get in, I can move my head around. I think it looks brilliant. I would just like to introduce to you a cast of my head. So this is the result of all of the 3D scanning we did months and months ago. The idea being that this becomes the perfect model to fit the helmet to. It is so weird seeing my face like this. Can I keep it? Maybe after. Maybe after? Yes! What am I gonna do with it though? That's the creepiest thing to have in the world. I did bring this home, by the way, and at the moment it's just sat in my bathroom with a shower cap and a pair of glasses on, which is a bit disturbing for visitors. So if you can think of a better use of it, then please do let me know. It started with a body scan. Then came the designs and the prototypes. I've seen 3D resin printing, silicone molding, sanding, prepping, painting, and even tried on the soft fabrics. And let's not forget meeting a life-size version of my own head. I'd seen it in stages, bit by bit, but at this point, I hadn't yet seen the final helmet. Not all together. Here's how that went. Okay. I am about to see.
Close your eyes, close your eyes.
I'm about to see the helmet in all its glory. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Almost a year since we started this project. Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no way. I actually can't believe it. I actually cannot believe how good that is. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Look at the antennae, it's got lights.
That's amazing, because that's going to help me see into the hive. Is that a camera? There is a camera here, so I'm always going to be able to get a beekeeper's eye view on what I'm doing. My face is actually lit up. You should always be able to see my face when I'm filming with the bees. It's so true to the face of a honeybee. Even the chin, like the shape of it is perfect for the face of a worker bee. My mum's gonna be so jealous. The moment of truth. Thank you so much. This is actually unbelievable. Now all that's left to do is test it with the bees. Now to see if this actually works, I've set up the microphone inside the helmet and I'm tucked in so it's safe. All that's left to say is lights, camera, action. Hello, bees. This has been an absolute success. I can see what I'm doing, you can hear me, I'm calmer, the bees are calmer, and also we're getting really cool shots. It's just bee brilliant. I can't believe it, I'm sorry, I can't believe I did that. I'll stop now. That was awesome. Now remember to let me know what you think my new beekeeping superhero name should be in the comments. I just want to say a huge thank you to FBFX and all of their artists for creating something incredible. I'm pretty sure this is the only beekeeping helmet of its kind in the whole world, and I feel extremely lucky to have it. Thank you for joining me on another adventure. Subscribe for more videos and stay curious. Bye!